Welcome back to Monster Mayhem. I know last episode it got a little crazy, but we're back. We're back in action, and sadly, still not sponsored by Monster, the best energy drink. And today we have brought one of the most special guests. Not only did he bring our future to us, but he helped save America. Welcome, Mr. Eisenhower.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Gardner.
So what to start things off? What should I call you? Should I call you by your last name, first name, middle name? How should I call you?
Call me Ike. All my friends call me Ike.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. So oh yeah, and call me Mr. Junior. You know,
Mr. Junior, okay.
Or Junior, doesn't matter. So
Okay.
let's just get the general idea of like who you are as a person and what your personality is. So, I heard that you were born in Texas.
Yes, sir.
How was I'm not born in Texas, but I grew up a little bit in Texas. So how I know the culture there. So how was your experience in Texas?
Well, I was born in Texas, Denison, Texas. It was nice. I didn't live there all my life. I spent most of my youth in Albany, Kansas. We ended up moving there. Me and my folks. Yeah.
Yeah. How was that movement like knowing that you know the technology we have today wasn't available to you? So how do you think that movement was like troubles, problems, anything?
Well, Kansas and Texas ain't that far, but judging by how we are today, it was a lot harder back then.
It was a lot harder.
Making that home move.
Sounds tough.
Yeah.
And growing up in Kansas, like, was your father in the picture, mother not in the picture? Like, how was it?
I grew up with my mom and dad, but I didn't really have too much of a relationship with my father. He was busy. He was a mechanic at a little creamery because we were in Albany, Kansas.
Okay.
A little small farming town.
So now, your mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very religious woman. I heard that, she was against the war, correct?
Yeah, she was. Her name was Ida. She was a Mennonite.
Okay.
And she was very against the war. She was a pacifist and just opposed war entirely.
Now, see, that's ironic. Don't you think that's kind of ironic, seeing how politically you got involved with the war, World War II, we'll get into all that later on. But don't you see how, like, politically and physically you got into that? Do you think that's ironic?
I think that's actually, considering it now, that is very ironic.
It's very ironic. Nice tie, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so...
I put my jacket off over there.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So, I heard about this one thing in the war. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get a little bit more info, a little bit of feedback, and get your reaction on the war. So, I heard that there was an Operation Torch. Can you establish a little bit more on that? When did this happen?
When did Operation Torch happen? Seems like a blur by now, but I think it was like November 8th to the 16th. It was a couple of days long, back in 1942.
1942. When or where did this take place? Like, was it like here in America? Was it, somewhere in Europe? Where was it?
It took place in North Africa, actually.
Oh, North Africa. Oh, okay. So do you want to, like, explain what this war was pretty much about? Like, why you campaigned on it, and, like, what was really about? Just tell me, what was really about?
What was Operation Torch about? Well, it was kind of our introduction into the war. It was, through the Allied powers, we took over North Africa, which it went with the British objective of capturing North Africa, but it also allowed the American troops that we have to. It was our opportunity to begin the fight against the Nazi Germany and then fascist Italy. But due to what we had, the land, the size, it was kind of smaller scale. We did have a lot of other stuff that happened, and it got much bigger. And
Understandable. I understand that. And how did you feel? Like, how can I phrase this? When you were going through this, what was going through your mind? What was your feeling? What was your intent?
Protect my country, save my country, help the world, help the Jewish people because the Nazis were treating them terribly for no reason, and they did horrendous things to them Jews, but gladly we stepped in, we helped, we fought with the Allied powers, a whole bunch of other countries.
Now, during this war, I understand there's a lot of, he jumps there, she jumps there. A lot of, America goes here, China went there. Can you tell me, during this time, who'd you really look at as an ally? Like, who was really a part of your allies?
My fellow men and women on the battlefield for the American and soldiers.
Okay. Now, I understand this. During this time, you did serve. Thank you for your service. Mm-hmm. I'm truly humble, and thank you again for saving America. What was like your position? Like, obviously everybody starts off, as they do, like maggot this, maggot that, but obviously you started off somewhere and creating a big name for yourself. So most enemies fear that name. What was your position?
Well, first, let's speak on the fact of creating this big name. I did not have that good of a past. Yes, I did win an appointment to West Point, but most of the teachers looked down on me. I was literally halfway through my school at like the 61st or 62nd place out of 162 students or cadets, because it was a nice military school.
Okay.
But kind of had a different thing at the time of smoking, cards, other things that were kind of occupying my mind and taking up my time, which I didn't really focus on the studies and what happened.
That sounds really troublesome. Now, I understand that, and I'm so sorry for your past. We all wish to be better men, to have better past, but this is what creates us, and thankfully it created you. There's this other operation I wanted to get into after Operation Torch. Now it's a little bit. I heard like it's called this. It's called that. Do you want to give me like a specific name that I should call it by? And I know what war I'm talking about because it happened in the almost in the same place that Operation Torch happened.
Are you talking about the Battle of Tunisia?
Yes,
also called the Tunisian Campaign.
Yeah, the Tunisian Campaign. Now that one. Explain that one to me. Like, explain, like, when did that one start and when did it end? Okay, so now Battle of Tunisia. So when or where did it take place at?
It also was in North Africa.
I see.
It was just we were trying to spread out what territory we had over there and help fight, help save people.
Okay. Now, what did you guys stand to gain from that battle?
What did we stand to gain? Well, other than territory and more land for weapons. It was kind of our introduction, like I said, into the war. It helped pave the way. Well, I like to say it paved the way into what we did and what happened.
Okay. Let's talk about Operation Overlord. Like, how was that?
Operation Overlord. That was took lots of planning. That was. And it's crazy because it all happened. Most of it happened on the same day. It was.
And yet we've succeeded, and
We
I
did
think
succeed.
I thank you for that. Now, when did this start? I understand, finding out when did it end is kind of hazy because people hold grudges and stuff like that. I want to understand, when did it start for like your perception? When did it start?
When did it start? Well, it wasn't. The U.S. didn't officially join the war until like after a whole bunch of stuff already happened.
Get away from me, dog.
It took Japan and them attacking our ships. It was
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor.
December.
Sad day.
Yeah, I understand. It happened in December. December 7th, which is, it's close to my birthday. And, it hurts America still to this day. I understand. They used a technique. What was that technique called again?
The kamikazes?
Yeah.
That technique? Yeah.
We lost a lot of good men that day, didn't we? Now, I understand that it happened at a lot of places, but there is one place in particular that, a lot of movies shoot at, a lot of movies are based off of, some of my favorite movies that I like to watch and I would recommend to other people. Let's talk about D-Day. Is there any other name for it?
D-Day? It was also, well, since we were talking about Operation Overlord, it was part of our Operation Overlord. But we also codenamed it the Battle of Normandy.
Battle of Normandy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it happened in Normandy.
Yes, sir, it did.
And I understand that, tragic time. Some might even say it was gray when it happened. Now tell me, when did it happen?
When did it happen? It was June 6th, 1944. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. It was a bad day.
Now I know I asked where did it happen. I already kind of answered that with Normandy, but like, where did it happen? Like, was it in the city? Was it like in the town?
Well, it was kind of all over. It was Western Europe. We wanted to do it to successfully eliminate the German occupied, Germany occupied of Western Europe.
All right, Western Europe. So, Western Europe, that's the beach. Am I correct? Kinda, sorta.
Yeah,
All right, so
more than just beaches there.
I know it's more than just beaches, but that's where I'm getting my, because the western parts are pretty good. Now, how did we approach this? Like, how did we advance on this plan?
Well, there was a lot that happened on D-Day because we had the Normandy landings, also known as Operation Neptune, which was like, give or take, 1,200 planes. They led an airborne assault, and then after that, it was followed up by amphibious assault.
Explain to me, what amphibious assault? What is that? What is that? Explain that.
So, amphibious, it's kind of in the name. Amphibians, they live in the water, right? So we went submarines, boats, aircraft carriers, all that. And we sent about 5,000 vessels So it was.
That's a lot of men.
Was a lot of men. There was about there was nearly 160,000 troops that occupied the English Channel.
Okay. Now, what was that first one you said again? What was it? Landings. Now,
Normandy landings.
How did you guys land? You guys jump off of planes? You guys approach via water? You guys, or did you guys just march up and approach? Like, how did you?
Kind of like a whole mix.
A whole mix of all three.
Planes landed, planes shot, people jumped out of them, went up by the water. It's just whatever we thought would be strategically, because we wanted to rush the enemy.
I understand.
Think about it. You got one point where you just want to get in there. We went from any angle, every angle that we could think of at the time. There was better ways that we could have done it, but
I understand. There's better ways people can approach a war, and sadly, we did have to approach violently. Now, Battle of Normandy. A lot of people lost their grandfathers, their great grandfathers to that battle.
a lot of people.
Now, I just want to know, what was your rank? Like, what was your position in the military during this time?
During this time, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I was a brigadier general.
Brigadier general. Now, how long would you say that took you? Like, how much effort?
A lot of effort. It took a lot. Because back when this war first started, when Germany invaded Europe back in 1939, I ended up going back to the U.S. and as I remember, I was helping the Third Armies in their field maneuver, and it brought something in me. It was a talent I didn't know I had. It helped me. I was planning things. I was being more strategic, learning techniques. Because back when I was a little kid, I used to read about the history of the military and all kinds of stuff that happened even before. There's always been battle, war.
Of course.
With all the love in the world, there has to be loss.
Let's get to this. I heard that you presidented a university. How did that go?
Another thing on the resume. That's what I'm gonna say.
Another thing on the resume. That's what
I did a lot in my life.
Okay. Now, we do this segment on the show, where we have the special guests try to chug a monster as fast as they can. Would you like to partake in that?
Yes, sir, I would.
Seeing you, a man who has faced many challenges, young, older, see, this seems like not even a challenge for you. So please take the fresh monster. Crack it open.
Ultra Peach Keen. It's a nice flavor. Nice can too. Just love the beautiful artwork that monster does. Like, look at this old school Volkswagen bus. Like, that's nice.
That's nice.
The flowers, the details on this.
Speaking of nice, our special guest here has brought a very nice addition to the show. He has brought his very own promotion, his very own ad. Take a look at the clip right now. And we're back. I hope you like that advertisement. This was made by our dear Uncle Samuel L. Jackson. Now, Okay,
I
so
think it's time to chug the monster.
crack the monster. Can't get attacked unless you hear the crack. Ooh.
Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, it smells so good.
Now,
It smells so good.
Now, do you want me to set up a timer, or do you think you got this on your
I
own?
think I got it.
Okay.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Look at him go, folks.
That's a great flavor.
That is a great flavor. Now, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I know it maybe inconvenienced you after all.
Not at all.
Not at
Anytime.
all?
Anytime.
Anytime?
Love to hang out with you again, Mr. Junior.
Love to hang out with you too, Mr. Ike.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what are your plans? Like after this, what are you gonna go do? What do you feel like doing?
After this?
Yeah.
After this podcast, I'm probably going to go sleep.
Understandable.
Understandable.
All right, everyone. So that was Mr. Ike. D. Eisenhower. I don't know what the D stands for.
David!
But, as you can tell, he's still here, but away. So, like always, I hope you guys like that podcast. I thank you all for watching. And, always, 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 when you wake up, have a good morning. And just in case you don't see me, or just in case you don't see anybody that tells you good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. Wow.
You're the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say will be held against you in a court of law.
It was only an ounce.
Then what was this? What was this?
It's Jamal's.
Jamal? Mm-hmm. You were Jamal. Enemy.
I understand.
Think about it. You got 1 point. 1 point where you just want to get in there. We went from